Welcome back to Are You Dust? I'm AA Ron.
I'm Mr. Shroom.
And this is episode 18. That is absolutely ridiculous. How was that sip? That sounded crispy.
It sounded as good. It tasted as good as it sounds.
Outstanding.
It was pretty crispy.
Would you like to introduce us to the man we have sitting right here to our left, to our right?
Folks, today is an exciting day because today we have one of you that has joined us on the podcast. You might remember several episodes back we read the most beautiful email that it doesn't matter that it's the only email. It's the most beautiful email that we've ever gotten. And our guest today, our special guest, is Fred. Fred, welcome to the show.
Certified dust head, certified dust Fred.
Beautiful. That's so
What's up,
good.
y'all?
Dude, so I'm sure you heard, like, that email, it made us both just soar throughout our day.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Now, I was sitting at work, I was listening to the pod, and I felt compelled to put something into words and let y'all know how awesome this thing is.
That's so nice.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah, dude, I was flying throughout. I was at work just like, wow.
That shit got my dick hard.
I'm telling you.
Hey, it still hasn't went down yet.
Mission accomplished.
So good. Where do we even begin?
Well,
There's so much to say.
So, like, me and Fred do go back. We went to the same elementary school.
Yep.
Same high school.
And I was there too, just not with him, unfortunately.
That's right. Aaron was, or Aaron was how much younger are you than me?
About 3 years?
All right, so you were a nobody.
Right.
He was just in the shadows.
The shadows. Honestly, though, I could always pick you out in the group, that curly ass hair.
Oh,
like
dude,
long
I
hair.
always knew
Yeah.
about you too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could pick you out in the crowd.
Hey, man, sorry to get sidetracked here, but this just threw me. Like, when I think of you, I think of Miss B, you know, our 7th and 8th grade teacher. Her husband works there too, 5th grade.
Are we talking red hair?
You know it.
Yes, okay.
Dude, she would talk about you a lot to our
I
class.
remember.
Dude,
Really? What would
so
she
good.
say?
Just crazy stuff like you and we'll call him Mr. Flower. Y'all two, dude, would be doing crazy stuff. At recess on the way there. You won't believe what they said today. And I'm like, fuck, man, just to know him would be cool.
Dude, so I've got a funny story. Y'all both probably know what I'm talking about. I don't want to come out and say the name because you're going to have to beep it. And I did not get a pencil and paper.
Nah, you can say it, just don't say the last name.
Casey?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
He was, okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So-
Freaking shaved head sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Fuck.
I don't honestly think he'd mind that I said his first name.
No, I don't think you would.
But, so Casey had the biggest crush ever on Mrs. B, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it was a thing. And then when we graduated the 8th grade, and we're all supposed to be going to West, he came back during the summer, and, you know, she taught in one of the mobiles, and he, like, during the summer went out and drew in chalk on the sidewalk a picture of Miss B, like, topless, sucking a dick, and wrote, like, "Suck it, Miss B."
Dude.
And he got in fucking trouble for that shit.
Dude, she told us
That's
about
extreme.
it in the class.
Oh
Like,
my
she said,
gosh.
I couldn't believe he did it. Like, he was the one to do that because she thought they were so close.
Fucking
Or whatever.
Basquiat.
Man, that's legendary. I can't believe we remember that one.
The last time I saw Casey, he had just gotten fired from Subway. And I was like,
Fresh, man.
yeah, he was eating fresh. And I was like, "What'd you get fired for?" And he's like, "Well, they thought I was stealing a bunch of shit, and I wasn't. So on my last day, I stole a bunch of shit."
He says, I will be who you think I am.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
no
right.
doubt about
That
that.
was the last time you saw the guy. Huh?
That's been like
Where do you think he is now?
15. I hope not in jail.
Dude.
I hope not. I always liked Casey a lot. I once paid him $20 on our 8th grade field trip in Washington to eat like this glob of wasabi. He didn't know what wasabi was. And like he eats it and has the obvious reaction. He eats a fucking glob of this shit. And like immediately starts like tearing up and like I thought he was choking, so I'm like, "Casey, you can spit it out. I'm still gonna pay you. Like spit it out." But I mean, that was very funny. Like I don't know, 45 seconds. Fuck. Yeah, you take advantage of your friends, folks. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
But so me and Fred, yes, we go back to high school. We had lots of mutual friends, And then I actually visited him at his college, and we went on a nice little mushroom trip.
A little psychedelic adventure, we call it.
Beautiful.
And that was my first time going to that college. I'm actually enrolled in that college right now. Yeah,
No shit.
Yeah, fuck college though, for the record.
Come on.
Except that one, though.
Except that one. Yeah, it's a cool school. Just fuck the whole college system. But anyway, I don't remember a whole lot about the trip other than at one point we were walking through this like natural area, and all I could see ahead was just trees. And this was one of my few daytime trips. For as many times as I've eaten them, they've mostly all been at night. This was a daytime trip. And we were just walking through these trees, and I just remember like melting into the landscape, and just it was a great fucking moment.
That
I
sounds so
think
good.
we took them around 5 o'clock or so. So we got to catch the daylight and the nighttime part of it.
Yeah.
It was a, sort of a transition period.
Beautiful.
And we took the shrooms, then we started walking around, and we had a trip sitter, this guy that lived near us named Ricky.
He's a cool dude.
And he was kind of our Moses leading us across the desert. And we just got in the headspace of, we're just going to keep walking. We're going to walk this out. The shrooms are kicking in. And eventually, we're just completely aimless. He's like, guys, we need to turn around. It's like, where are we going? And we were just mentally astray at that point.
We were just
So we got back to the crib, and then some other hijinks ensued. Do you remember when the group of my neighbors came in with masks on?
Vaguely.
They busted in my apartment. They were wearing masks trying
Whoa.
to scare us.
What kind of mask we talking? Like Jason?
Just like whatever they pulled out of their Halloween
Right on.
shit. And it was like, what is going on here? Kind of freaked us out a little bit. Didn't know
I
whether
bet
to
so.
laugh or cry.
Yeah, totally.
It's not time for the music choices yet, but
Always time for the music choices.
Fred introduced us that day to Spangle, and I still play the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, what an
like
anthem.
to this day. That was the most fucking perfect song for that like atmosphere. It was beautiful. Have you ever heard of Spangle?
No.
Dude.
I'm absolutely going to have to check that out right after this.
That is a psychedelic roller coaster. And you played some other one, and we were all like kind of in our own little worlds, but it was some like, I don't know, like Latin vibe to it. And like simultaneously, we all started talking about like Mexican crabs. You
Whoa.
remember?
Yeah.
like,
No, there's this one song, and it's because that's what it sounded like. It had like a Latin flair to it. Nice little Latin drum, almost like a Santana beat going on.
Oh.
But yeah, we listened to that. We listened to some Daft Punk. I remember sitting on the futon, just melting into the futon, listening to Daft Punk. Just out of my fucking mind.
that was a good time. That's when we were eating like 8s at the time.
Yeah, we took an eighth.
Yeah.
It was extreme. I mean,
So you were
we
flying.
weren't that experienced
Yes.
with it either, so it knocked us out.
And Fred, who he was rooming with at the time, I'm sure we can call him Crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crack had not a bad time, but I'd say a bit harder time transitioning.
Difficult.
And he was stationed in the bedroom, and like the other 3 of us that are tripping, me, you, Baby B, and the other fella. I know his name actually. I don't want to say it because anonymity sake, but like we're all out vibing in like the living room. And Crack would like pop out of the fucking bedroom, hang out for like 30 seconds, and be like, "Nope, fuck this," and go right back into the bedroom.
We all know the loop when it comes to tripping. You get
Yep.
stuck in that loop. I think he was there. Another thing I remember about him is that going into it, we're like, we're taking 8. This is going to really floor us. And he got like a marker and wrote all over his arm. He wrote, "I ate 3.5 grams of mushrooms at 5:32 p.m." And it was just like written on his arm like a tattoo. And I just remember seeing that when we were outside in the sunlight, and he looked at it, he's like, "Why did I do this?" It's like, I feel so exposed this way. Like, we're already tripping, and then we got like the evidence right on my forearm.
Could you watch it later just moving around and stuff?
The words just
skin?
squiggly.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a real question for you. I actually was telling Aaron about this not that long ago. So at the end of that trip, you or Crack One put on some like documentary about this comedian dude who used to do like drugs on stage. Do you remember who that was? Because that like, I don't know, that was like enlightening.
Was it Bill Hicks?
Maybe it was Bill Hicks.
I think it might be. It There's a documentary called American or something. It's about Bill Hicks, comedian.
Okay, that sounds right. I gotta watch that shit again. I think it was actually Eddie I was talking about. We were neither here nor there the other night, and I was trying to describe this documentary because at one point, Bill Hicks, yeah, him and a buddy are tripping somewhere out in nature.
Yep.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay, yeah, and like Bill has this moment and is like turning to his friends like, "Did you see that? Did you feel that?" And when I used to eat mushrooms, like that's that shit I was chasing. Like that moment he's talking about. And I don't know. I've never been able to find that documentary. I'm going to probably end up watching it tonight.
Yeah, it's called American or something. I think it used to be on Netflix, but he talks about him and his friend and like they're tripping balls and they realize like this came from cow shit and they just start laughing their ass off like what a crazy thing this is.
It is crazy when you think about it. Like it's so fucked. I feel the same way about reefer. It's like, dude, this just grows like that.
I mean, most shrooms nowadays are grown in like rice cakes, but yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, cow shit, rice cake, same thing. It's all bullshit.
Here. I'll drink to that.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I just like it just popped in my head. Like Fred is the one that showed this shit to me, and like now is the opportunity to ask.
Dude, so when is the last time you guys saw each other?
I think that like ECU trip, wasn't it?
Probably sometime around then. I don't know if afterward or not.
What year are we talking?
It's been a minute. 2013.
Good Lord Almighty.
Because we, when we took the shrooms, it was like for my 21st birthday around then. Oh, do you also remember the tailgate before the football game?
I do indeed.
Drank about 87 light beers before the game. We're just fucking trashed outside of the tailgate.
I kept taking beers from the cooler, and they were calling me Billy the Kid because I looked like a fucking child. And they were like, "Help yourself, Billy the Kid." And I'm like, "I will." Yes, I remember the tailgate. That was a lot of fun.
All right, do you also remember the Leonard Skinner concert?
Dude,
You got busted?
Fuck yeah, that was after that, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
That might have been close to the last time.
So we went and saw Leonard Skinner, and it's like, is it all the original band except the singer?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But at that point, 2013, that was when you
Yeah.
saw him. Dude, there was some good ones for
Okay.
sure left.
That was probably a little bit later, I'd say. Maybe
Yeah.
2014, 15, but
Yeah.
Dude, when I
definitely
saw
a
him,
Frankenstein version of the band.
yeah, I saw him in 2016, and Gary Rossington, the guitar player, was the only OG. But
Okay,
Ricky
okay.
Medlock is also there, legend from Blackfoot. He was also in the first incarnation of Skynyrd, but he wasn't on those early recordings. You know?
Gotcha.
So I don't know what to think about that. Anyway,
No,
Skinner.
yeah, no, you're good. Like I'm not into it as much. But I remember it's the dude's brother that sings it, like sings
Yeah.
all the songs now, and he sounds good. I mean,
He's great.
Maybe he doesn't sound like the original, but he does a good enough job, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yes,
I had a good time.
We went to the Leonard Skinner concert, and like we're drinking the whole way there, smoking, and like we get out and like we start pre-gaming harder. And like I remember for myself, I had just started to get like a nice hard like drunk buzz going, and like two undercover cops like walk up, and it's like, "Can I see your IDs?"
No.
And none of us are 21, and that was my first and only ticket ever, underage drinking ticket. Yeah.
They had like t-shirts on and khakis. They walked right up to us, and we fucked up because we left beer cans sitting on top of the car, talk about a sign for them to come look inside. And next thing we know, they're searching through the car. Got busted for weed. Everybody else got busted for booze. Not fun. And then somehow we still managed to catch like the final two songs of Skinner.
Dude, some
It's
Freebird.
like, so we missed most of the show.
I remember getting my ticket, like the dude's like printing it out, handing it to me or whatever, and like I can hear like, "Can you smell that smell?" Like
wow.
playing from inside. It's like,
Dude,
this is depressing.
I was just thinking that we're very lucky to have witnessed Gary Rossington hitting that slide on the Freebird. That was horrible, but you get it. God, dude, that's just awesome. I watched that video back, like, man, at least we got to experience that.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty awesome.
What we did get to see of that show, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like,
Absolutely.
It was good. Yeah.
Dude, I was ripping it that night, and Dalton was all excited. He was like, man, Skinner. I'm like, I ain't fucking Skinner, dude. Skinner died in 77. And he's like, nah, whatever. But now I love that I got to see at least him, you know.
At least part
Remember
of it.
it was Bad
Yeah.
Company that opened up for
Yeah.
Skinner. We missed the whole Bad Company show.
The whole
Bruh,
set.
that's 2015 y'all are talking about.
Yep.
I have the T-shirt from that
You were
tour,
probably there.
man. That's,
Of course you were there.
dude, that's
You probably got VIP tickets.
Dude, so I can tell a funny story leading off of that. So we all got tickets, and me and Baby B, as a result of getting that ticket, we had to go attend this drug class. And because I think I was 18 and he was 19 at the time. I can't do math right now, but that's all over it, right? And anyway, so we ended up in the same drug class, so we'd go together every week. And we'd smoke on the way up to the drug class. And this one week in particular, I had some coke, and it was all over my front seat. So on the way up to drug class, I'm like stuffing our blunt with coke as we're smoking it. And we get into the drug class, and like we're just obviously fucking zooted. And the teacher even like pauses to ask, like, "Are you two okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're good."
You're like, we thought this was a drug class.
Yeah.
We had to
Dude,
prepare for that.
That's
Show
like
it
Jeremy ODing in a Dare shirt.
The parallels
I
are
remember that
similar.
story.
Yeah,
That's so good.
yeah.
I don't have none of that, man. I never went to the extremes that paramedics were involved, other than car crashes, of course.
T-boned that food dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, worst week of your life.
yeah.
What was worse, splitting your dick because of the pepper, or getting T-boned at the intersection?
Oh, the kidney stones were the worst
The
thing of my life.
worst, yeah.
Yes. Kidney stones are the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Without a shadow of a doubt. Heartbreak, I thought that was the worst. No, sir. That was last week. Okay. Brutal, dude.
You're like, when I started pissing blood, I forgot all about my broken heart.
Yeah, you know it. Good.
So you had a
Lord.
kidney stone conundrum, it sounds like.
Dude, it was so bad. I had 4 of them in there. And it was
Ugh.
just, man. And, man, I haven't laid off the peppers. That was 2019.
Oh,
Really sent you through the ringer, huh?
Dude, it really did. That was harsh. But what can you say?
yeah, what you gonna do about
Yeah.
it? So I had another quick me and Fred story. One night we ended up at this bonfire, and I got a hold of some coke that we got from Alcohol, actually, at like 1 a.m.
I'm sensing a theme.
And anyway, we went over to Chi McBee. I mean, that's a code name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we went over to Chi McBee's house, and he had a keg in his bedroom, so that was cool. So we drank a little bit, and then Fred and I ended up out in the car doing coke, and we freestyled for like, I don't know, a couple hours or whatever. That was fun. And then like we look at the time, and like I'm out of coke at this point, and it's like 6 a.m. So like, okay, we need to go inside and go to bed. And like we go up, and like I can't remember which one of us it was, but we're like turning the doorknob, and like Chi McBee's mom, and for reference, we're like, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. Like we're turning the door, and like she opens up the door, and it's like, what are you two doing? And it's like, we're going to bed. And she's like, it's 6 a.m. Like, do you like help me tell it? I might be leaving something out. Like,
She's like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys?
yeah. Like, do you go in your own house at 6 a.m. to like go to bed?
Yeah.
She had that New Jersey accent coming through, and she just looked at us like we were the biggest pieces of shit on God's green earth.
Yep. And like Chi McBee shows up and is like, Mom, it's like, it's okay. Like, they're going to bed. And she's like, no, they need to leave. And it's like, all right. So we went over to Bonzo's house, actually. And yeah, I'm like knocking on Bonzo's door at like 6:30 in the morning. And he's like, Mr. Shroom? And I was like, hey man, can we crash here? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And like, we just immediately went to the beds that were available and crashed.
And at that point, it's like we've come down off coke and
Yep.
just tired, just feeling like shit. And they're like, we got to find some place for shelter, like we're allowed to be.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. Bonzo. Shout out Bonzo.
Dude, really quick about Bonzo, man. So I have never met the Bonzo until you brought him for this. And man, what a fucking honor. Because that dude, holy F. Like last week we did that episode 17, and that was just fun. I mean,
That was a good
just
time.
listening to him, those stories with the whip and the 12-inch cock. I mean, I didn't know such stories existed.
I had never heard him tell the Chinese girl story.
That's top 5 stories on the dust.
The power of Bonzo. It's like you guys could just sit back and let him
Dude.
guide the ship.
Oh,
I'm
man.
telling you, that was so good. Didn't have to say a dang thing.
I wanted him and Jeremy to like introduce the show and be like, and our guest,
Dude.
Aaron and Mr.
Yeah,
Shroom.
that'd be cool.
Dude, he did want that, and I shut it down.
Yeah, but
Fuck.
nah, I mean, dude, like him and we hadn't even really gotten into the last episode, but folks, whatever you think about last episode, those opinions are shared only by the opinion giver. Aaron and
Yeah.
I are perfectly neutral.
Absolutely. I didn't even know what they were talking about half the
No.
time. I was just sitting there just vegging.
We love Jewish people. We love the
Israelis.
Israeli army.
We love the Pope.
Fuck that.
We
Yeah.
love the Pope. But anyhow,
I co-sign about 85% of what I heard.
Right on. Right on.
There you have it. And
Absolutely.
that's Fred's opinion again, not Aaron.
Of course.
Opinion.
Dude, let's check this out. I want to hear some of Fred's favorite music, dude, because I know you love the music. You're a drummer,
Yeah.
Delia. So good.
Man, I go deep on any type of rock you throw at me.
Fantastic.
Big into rock, alt rock, classic rock, yacht rock, soft rock. It doesn't
Dude,
matter.
Fuck, yeah.
Love rap too.
Absolutely.
Love jazz, electronic, everything, man.
Rad. That's so good. I'm pretty much the same way. If it's good, I'm all about it.
I want to talk to you about Ringo Starr.
Oh,
I know you
let's
saw
do it.
the Star Band, right?
Dude, yes, just
How
got to
was
see.
that?
That was so unbelievable. Like when he walked out, dude, he sprinted. He like skipped out. Like he was running out of a Beatle movie, dude, in the 60s. I was just like, there ain't no way. And we were in the very back, dude. There was one row behind us, and that was the very back. But it didn't matter. That energy just shot all the way to the back. This was at the Ovens Auditorium in Charlotte. Dude, all the classic tunes. He got up and did the drums. He's being the front man. And then Steve Lukather from Toto, the guitar player, the fucking genius, he ripped through all those songs. So you get to hear Africa live. So the freaking crowd's losing their minds. Then Mr. Colin Hay from Men at Work, the singer,
Yeah.
bruh, he sang all those classics.
Oh.
And it just killed me. Who can it be now? Doo-doo-doo. The saxophone player from Kansas up there doing that. And I'm just like, bruh, Ringo up there, go away,
His
Did they play
band's just like
Overkill?
an amalgamation of classic rock guys.
Exactly. But
Did they play Overkill?
they did.
They did?
Dude, they did.
Holy shit.
He played that one and the Who Can It Be, and then fucking, what is their other one? Massive, dude. I'm dying.
Dude,
here.
oh, fuck.
That's
I
horrible.
come from a land down
Yes.
under.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. He was like, this is the first city that this song became number 1 in outside of Australia. And then the crowd just lost it. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's crazy. And he goes, I don't know if that's true, but it sounds good. And then went right into it. It
Peace
was,
and love, peace and
dude,
love.
yeah, it was so awesome.
Flashback.
Lovely to be here. I'm going to play one of my party pieces right now, which was a big hit in 1981. As a matter of fact, I think that it went to number 1, and this was the city exactly 44 years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was the first city that went to number 1 outside of Australia. Can you believe that? I'm not sure if that's strictly true, but let's go with that for tonight.
End of flashback.
And then the show was wrapping up, and what would you do if I sang out of tune? That was the last
He's got to
song.
play that one.
Dude, that was so awesome. The crowd goes wild. And at the end, he's just like, peace and love. And then he runs off the stage. And I'm just like, oh, man, that's magic. He's just gone. And then, so I'm tearing up a little bit. And then, fuck, dude, they go into, all of a sudden, the song ends. And then the drums just, do. Give peace a chance, the John Lennon song, and they're doing that. He runs back out with his towel. He dabs his head up a little bit, throws it to the ladies. This tall guy gets right in their way and snatches it. And then he runs off again. It was awesome. It was crazy. Because I got them like tattooed on my arm. And that's just a big deal that I've never seen any Beatle live ever. But they've been like the soundtrack to the whole life.
Dude, that's pretty fucking awesome. You got to go
It
see
was
that
awesome.
shit.
Dude, yeah, it was so cool. Took my dad for Father's Day.
Yeah?
It was cool.
Did you have a good time?
A blast. He's
Yeah.
been talking about it every day since.
Nice.
Love it.
I saw something like it was the first time a Beatle had been in the Queen City in a
Dude.
couple decades or some shit.
Exactly. Not in my lifetime he's ever been to Charlotte. Got to see Paul now.
The all-star band, right?
Dude, yes, sir.
What other Beatles cuts did he play?
Man.
Octopus's Garden, of course.
And then the old classic
Yellow Submarine?
Yellow Submarine, yes, sir. And then he did Boys, which he used to play with them, like, on the live stuff. That's a cover.
Did he play Photograph?
He did,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That was, like, the third to last song. That was amazing. And he also did I Was Great, that song John Lennon wrote, but he sang it on one of his solo records in the 70s.
I'm the Greatest.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Dude, that was really cool. Greg Bissonette was the drummer from David Lee Roth Band from the 80s. Dude, I was tweaking about that. He did a little Hot for Teacher for the people. I can't believe I didn't even mention him yet. That's fine. I was about to just let it go on. Dude, when I saw he was the drummer, I was losing my mind. Like, dude, he's in all the Yankee Rose videos, you know, all that good stuff from the 80s. Diamond Dave.
Well, dude, that sounds like a fucking killer show.
It was so good, man. 10 out of 10. And Ringo is about to be 85 in July.
God dang.
Dude.
He might live forever. Who knows?
He might, dude. He had more energy than anybody in the crowd.
He doesn't look 85.
No, sir, he does not. From where we were sitting, he looked a good 40. And, dude, he was doing jumping jacks at the end. I was like, what the
that's
fuck? It was cool, man. And then Steve Lukather and Greg Bissonette, they just started jamming in the middle. Dude, they did some Rush, 2112.
Fuck yeah.
And then they went right into, like, Immigrant Song. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah.
It sounds like they're like, y'all like classic rock? Watch
Dude.
this. They're just going to go through a bunch of hits.
Dude, totally.
Good
They
shit.
did, and the crowd would lose it at every song. I was like, right on.
You remember that karaoke video I sent you like a few weeks back?
Absolutely.
Where I was singing Immigrant Song.
Dude, yeah, that was
Oh,
awesome.
shit. Yeah, good stuff.
So good.
Hey, Aaron, I wanted to go deep with you on Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys.
Oh, please.
R.I.P. to the legend, the genius,
I
the
know.
man himself.
We just lost the man, what, 6 weeks now? 7?
Hasn't been long, but he's,
That's so crazy.
I've always been a big fan of the band, but ever since he passed, I've just done like a huge deep dive.
Dude, yeah.
I've like listened to an audiobook about them, and
Yeah.
just the amount of lore and the stories. I've never found anything like more expansive about American band than that.
No, wait, dude, what kills me the most, I've known about the Beach Boys, obviously, like everybody, forever. And then I saw them on Full House as a kid. That's when Kokomo came out, because Full House was an 80s show, 90s show. So, dude, like Kokomo I love, and that's really all I knew. That and Barbara Ann, California Girls. I knew David Lee Roth did it, but that was a cover. But anyway, never appreciated them till this very year. Like, I got so hardcore into them. I don't even remember how it happened, but I started at the beginning, then went on. Then I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then it was Brian, and I was like, oh my God, so he's the best. I always thought Mike Love was like the guy who did everything, because everything I ever saw, he was the one talking.
Right. At some point, he kind of took over.
Right.
And Mike Love's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy.
That's what
I mean,
everybody says.
He definitely stifled Brian's creativity. So I listened to an audiobook, and it's called The Beach Boys, The California Myth. And it talks about how, Brian came up with Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
The band gets back. They're on tour without him because he's dealing with some anxiety and a little bit of paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
They get back, and he plays them Pet Sounds, and they're like, we don't like it. It's not commercial enough.
Ooh.
And it like broke his heart.
Yeah, that
And,
masterpiece.
So he followed that up with his album called Smile.
Yeah.
And he never released it until 2004, even though he started recording it in 66.
Whoa.
And what happened was he got so deep into this album that it just became too much, and his schizophrenia started to get really bad, and he was hearing voices, and it was playing into the music. There was one song on that called Fire.
Yeah.
And it was pretty dark and dissonant, and he found out there was a fire across town, and he thought he had caused it with his recording.
Whoa.
So he scrapped the whole thing.
Yeah.
And for the next 20, 30 years, it's like that album and not completing it was the monkey on his back.
Oh, man.
And it just killed him inside.
Yeah.
But then in the early 2000s, he was convinced to go back in the studio and record that album, and he did it. And he put it out, and he played it live in London with Paul McCartney in the front row, tears streaming down his face, watching it.
Dude, I have to see this. I have not seen that. That's amazing.
Check out a documentary called Beautiful Dreamer on YouTube.
Right on. Dude, I watched one. I forgot, what's the newest one that came out on Disney?
The Beach Boys on Disney Plus. I haven't seen that one.
I just watched that a few months ago, probably back in February. Dude, it's so good. And that's very recent. That was done in like the last year. But what kills me is I got so hardcore into it now. Then went to Brian's solo record from '88. Dude, that I've since like literally like January, I have had Melt Away and Love and Mercy.
Man.
Oh my
what
God.
an earworm.
Dude, I can't get away from it. Like, it's every day. Like, it just makes me feel good. And they just make you feel good, dude.
Have you heard the story about his therapist and Dr. Eugene Landy?
Dude, a little bit.
So in the mid 80s, he was really dealing with a lot of shit, and he gained a lot of weight. He was like 300 something pounds, and his family's like, hey, we need to bring somebody in to help him. And unfortunately, they hired a psychopath to do it. This guy Eugene Landy, and he came in and took over Brian's finances. The irony is that he actually got Brian healthy again. You got him to lose a lot of weight, got him in shape, but then he started pumping him full of drugs and antipsychotics, and
hell yeah,
things got really bad.
Yeah, that's when he was losing his mind, right?
Yep. There's a movie called Love and Mercy that came out in like 2014.
Yeah.
It talks about that, and eventually he got free from that dude, and that's what really set him free to be able to do what he wanted to do and make music, because this fucking asshole Landy was trying to co-write with him and like make music with him and with dog shit lyrics and really stifle his creativity. But Brian got free from that, and I think the last 20 years of his life he turned things around.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story, really.
It is, man. Like 2 nights ago, I was watching one of their 2012 reunion shows. It kills me that I didn't appreciate him like sooner to go see that, because I was way old enough to go see that. Like, I should have been there. Oh, gross, because he never toured with them again. He really never did anything after that live.
Have you heard the Beach Boys albums Sunflower from 70 and Surf's Up from 71?
Oh, totally.
There's
Dude,
some really good stuff on there.
Oh, dude, I was just telling my dad on the way to Ringo, I was hitting him with Brian's solo album, because I was like, have you heard this? And he hadn't heard some of them, but he loved the Beach Boys. And then he's telling me what like he knows about Brian. It was actually blowing my mind. He knew a lot more than I even knew. We've never talked about the Beach Boys. Just kills me. That's what I was telling him. I'm like, dude, why was this not shoved down our throats like the Beatles were? Like, everybody loves the Beatles. My grandma was like, this is this, Elvis is the king. My uncle's like, freaking, this is Kiss. These are legends here. Nobody was saying, dude, the fucking Beach Boys, it took Full House. And I was like, oh man, Kokomo kicks ass.
How crazy is it that Brian and Paul McCartney had like a friendly rivalry going on?
Dude, I know.
So like late 60s, Brian hears Rubber Soul, and then he drops acid like a week later and instantly starts recording Pet Sounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the Beatles hear Pet Sounds, they make Revolver.
Exactly.
And then Brian came out with, what was it after that? Good Vibrations came right after that.
Fuck.
And then when he was making Smile, he heard Sgt. Pepper. And at that point, he's like, oh my God, they got to it before I did. So that's also what factored into the Smile album kind of getting shelved.
That is freaking crazy. Have you ever heard that story? I'm sure you have, that Paul McCartney tells. He's like, I heard the Who, I read something we're going to make the dirtiest, grossest, nastiest song. And they were like, well, we're going to go do it. And we made Helter Skelter. I'm just like, that's so good. They hadn't even heard it yet. They're just like, we got to make something dirty. Love it. Where else do we go? Do we just want to throw out some bands and Let's just give some opinions? Dude, start us off.
What do you think about Rush?
Love Rush, dude. So freaking good. I can never get enough. And what kills me is most people through my life are like, I can't even listen to it because of the vocals. Dude, Geddy rules. I love those freaking Animate Me. I love that. That's that later Rush stuff, but Animate kills.
I feel like Rush is like an acquired taste.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like Rush.
Yeah.
I'm on for the pro Rush side for the record. Yeah.
I saw them in Charlotte in
Whoa.
2008, and then in Raleigh in 2013, I believe.
Holy fuck.
Both incredible shows. Both would make the top 10 of every show I've seen.
Dude, that's incredible. I love that. I never got to see Rush. Dude, me and my dad wanted to go see him in Greensboro on that the Rush 40. And dude, we were like, we didn't know it was the end. Like, nobody did. I love that they did that. Don't pull that farewell nonsense. They just freaking went out and was like, it might be the last. It might not be. We don't know. I love that. We were just like, we'll see him again sometime. Oh.
And their playing was still 100% even at that point.
Dude, I bet.
And they decided as a band, it's like, we're going to keep playing as long as we're 100%. The second that we start playing a little worse, we're going to hang it up.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe you saw him in 08.
And that's really respectable too, because you have a lot of the older bands now, like getting out there and trying to do the same shit they did like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, no disrespect, but like, it's like sad old men on stage trying to play the instruments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what is weird. I have seen that, and that is super sad. I don't want to name any names, but I will. Dude,
Go for it.
dude, when I saw John Bon Jovi, dude,
Yeah.
it broke my heart. Like, my brother still says that's the worst thing he ever saw. We went and saw him in 2022. That was the last Bon Jovi tour, not for the... Dude, it was so gross. It was just sad. He couldn't sing anything. We didn't even know what songs he was singing. And it was like, shot through the I'm not making it up.
it's like Count Dracula singing.
Dude, it was so bad. Living on a Prayer, you can go to my YouTube on there. It's Arrows Concerts. Dude, it's on there. That one's great. He gave everything he could. That one part where it's like, living on a prayer. He killed it. Like, it sounded like the record.
Yeah.
And he looked so proud of himself.
Flashback. End of flashback.
I did it,
Dude,
Mom!
yeah, it's like he knew that. Dude, the whole crowd was filming. The whole
Yeah.
place was lit up. The whole crowd was singing. That was magic. The rest of the show was tragic.
I remember reading an article a couple years ago. It's like, Bon Jovi fans concerned about lead singer. And I listened to the YouTube video, and he was beyond pitchy. Like,
Dude,
he was shot.
Oh man, it was like he couldn't even fake it. Like Axl from Guns N' Roses doesn't have the rasp he did like when I saw him in 2016. It was flawless then. But now it's kind of Mickey Mousey. But dude, he sings it in the key. He sings it straight up correctly.
Just like Mickey Mouse did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Mickey
no
Mouse,
He's
rasp.
fit it to what he can do now.
Exactly.
Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse singing Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah. And
I'd pay to see that.
dude, totally.
At least for the novelty factor.
Yeah.
Dude, totally.
I'd pay to see that.
I'm trying to think of an interesting band to throw at you to see your opinion. Let's hit you with Breaking Benjamin. He thinks they're gay.
Fred, make the right
Not a
choice
huge
here.
fan.
Yeah, hey!
That whole era of like 106.5 rock.
Oh, really? I grew up. I love that.
I grew up on it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like I could hear that and know every single word of the song.
Yeah.
But it's not something I reach for anymore.
Dude, so you'll probably throw up at this. So when I was 10, dude, in 07, I got to see Seether on the Finding Beauty and Negative Spaces tour, 3 Days Grace on the 1X tour, Breaking Benjamin on the Phobia tour, and Skillet on the Comatose tour. You hate all that, don't
I've
you?
seen Skillet before, yeah.
Seether's
rules.
all right.
Skillet's, Seether's killer.
No, it's like
too.
with all those bands, you could find a couple songs that I dig, but
Yeah,
by and large, it's not really what I reach for.
that's fair.
Even Seether?
Nah, I was more into 3 Days Grace than them.
3 Days
Really?
Grace is the best out of all those.
But then they had the
think
lead
so.
singer change, right?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't even listen to that. Now he's back. Adam is back with the band, but they kept Matt because that's like the brother of the bass player. And dude, I understand, but I don't want to hear him. Like, I don't want to hear any of his music. I don't want to hear it. Dude, Adam's letting him sing like some songs of his, like, I could be mean, I could be angry. Dude, if you're not singing it, I don't want to hear it.
All right, hang on.
That's just how that is.
Let's try something we did in a much earlier episode just based off 3 Days Grace. All three of us. On the count of three, we're all going to start singing, okay?
And it's not going to be that song.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
So what if you
I
could see
hate
the dark inside of me?
Wait, do they have Animal I Have Become?
Dude, yeah, that's their most
I can't
popular
remember how that
song.
started.
We missed on that one.
Dude, last time it was Godsmack, Voodoo, and that's their popular song. So I just
fucking
thought,
nailed it.
yeah, and I was like, that's the one he's gonna do. And this one, I went to their most popular song. I was gonna go.
I went to their best song.
I'll be coming home. Home is their best song ever. It's heavy as hell.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of in Fred's boat. Like 3 Days Grace, they probably have like 2 or 3 songs I like. And the rest
No,
of them
I
I'm
think you
like,
think
man.
3 or 4 albums of masterpieces.
That is not what I said.
That's pushing it a little bit.
That's not what I said.
Dude, their first 4 albums with Adam are flawless to me, to my ears. Riot, I understand. I'm burned on that one. Let's start a riot.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I don't care about
Dog
that.
shit.
Okay, yeah, I can feel that one. But a song like Lost in You, that's super deep. I don't know if you've caught that
I don't
one.
know if I know that
Okay,
one.
if y'all heard that, there's just no way you wouldn't be blown away. It's a perfect song.
See, if that's like an album record, like, and not some shit they played on
It is.
106.5, then I don't know it. Because all I know is
Oh,
like
right on.
106.5 shit from them. And
Yeah.
like,
So you've
like
never
I
heard
said-
Home?
No.
Bruh, that's the heaviest song they've ever written. It is so rad.
I feel like I've heard enough from 3
There's-
Days Grace.
Ain't no way. They seriously do have albums worth of greatness.
All right, I'll pitch y'all a band and we'll get your opinions.
All right.
All right. Fuck, I probably should have had a band prepared. How do we feel about The Used?
Man, that's actually cool stuff. I
Yeah.
go back to that from time to time.
Yeah.
It's not one of my all-time favorites, but man, back in the day, hanging out with the skaters, that was what they were jamming.
I never went really deep on those guys. I
haven't
never listened
either,
to one
but-
of the albums, but that was about it. Just the 106.5 songs.
Dude, them
So you're
and-
probably kind of neutral on them.
Yeah.
Neither bad nor good, and you're like, they're all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
them and
okay.
the all-time low. I put them together, and they're like nothing alike. But
Yeah, I feel like The Used, if you had to compare them, it's like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
And like, I never got into them. Do
but
you
it
know-
all takes me back to like 08.
Yeah,
09.
totally. It's like nostalgic at this point. You know, The Used and My Chemical Romance actually has a cover of Under Pressure.
No, I had no
Wow.
idea.
And
check
it's
that
like,
out.
it's pretty, look, it's nothing, it's not as good as like Under Pressure, but it's worth listening to.
I love
you would
NCR.
like it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
There was one summer where all I listened to was them and Green Day. Like I got
Yeah.
so deep on
Dude,
them.
fuck yeah. Dude, Green Day was the summer, or the whole fucking year of 2004 for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I found out about the Green Day.
Yeah.
I was like, holy
Listen to American
fuck.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I remember listening to Jesus of Suburbia
Dude.
at school on my earbuds.
Their best song
rocking
ever.
out. Yeah.
That is crazy. I gotta see Green Day. You ever seen them?
I need to.
Man, they finally came to Charlotte for the first time, like, ever, probably. Last year or the year before. I missed it. I missed Creed, too. That
I
hurt.
saw them in Charlotte.
Whoa,
Awesome.
this last
Scott
time?
Stapp was rocking.
Dude, that's all I heard. My aunt went.
It was a really good show. Better than I thought it'd be.
Dude, the videos I saw just killed me.
There's this like 2000 and I want to say like 4 Thanksgiving halftime show
I know
video.
you're talking about. He's got the Cowboys jersey on.
Dude.
Yes, he's got the Cowboys jersey on, and when he starts singing, "Can you take me higher?" This dude in like a toga-looking outfit is attached to these fucking like cords, and like they have him like sailing across the fucking football
That's
field.
like the most America thing I've
It
ever
is
seen.
the
Yeah.
corniest dog shit you've ever seen in your life because it's Creed. You're like, fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Totally.
Oh man, I'm getting, that shit got me a little high right there.
Can you take me higher?
And you know what? Scott Stapp still sounded pretty good live.
Dude, I bet so. He rules, man. I've met the whole Creed band except Scott.
You like Alter Bridge though, right?
Love Alter Bridge.
Mark Tremonti?
Yeah, dude, that's who I actually met, was them. And then I read into the drummer Scott Phillips at Amos's at a Seven Dust show in 2016. I was like, holy fuck. And Fieldy from Korn was there that same day. I was like, cheese and rice. Is that Fieldy from Korn?
Cheese and rice.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So I know your view on this band, but I want to hopefully get a more important one. No offense. What are your views on Modest Mouse?
All right, so they're a band that
I hope he hits you with the same thing I said.
I've always wanted to do
Don't make me
a deep
karate
dive
chop
on their
you.
music.
Yes.
I haven't done it yet because
Oh.
I've got friends that are super into them.
You're starving yourself.
I need to do it.
Okay.
I'll make it happen very soon.
Okay. So
Because I hear so much about some of their classic albums, of like how influential they were on the alt rock scene.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, their style is like nothing else.
Oh, do I think they're influential? Absolutely. We're just talking about taste. It just doesn't hit my eardrum.
I hear a lot about their drummer. What was that guy's name? Apparently, he passed away, but he was a really good drummer.
I don't know that. I don't know who their drummer was.
I think you just made my point.
I know all their albums. I don't know who
Every
their drummer
band I
is.
love, I know the drummer.
See, I don't get as deep into it like that.
What? But you know, like the drummer of the Beatles.
Ringo Starr.
Of course.
There was John Lennon, Ringo. There was the other one.
Oh no.
There was what?
This is making my heart hurt.
I know, dude.
Paul
this is great.
McCartney. Was there a Fred in that band?
There was. No way.
Fred. Okay.
There was a Pete at one point, but they weren't really like
There was
Beatles.
Paul,
Pete
Ringo,
Best, the first
Yeah.
drummer, right?
John,
Yeah.
and who am I missing? The dude who got really
George
into
Harrison.
George
Yeah,
Harrison, the dude who got
Arguably
really into the
my favorite solo artist out of it.
meditation. Yeah.
So good.
My
Yeah.
name's George Harrison. I'm the dark one in the Beatles.
So,
Dark and brooding.
dude, did you watch Get Back, the whole documentary? How great was that?
You feel like a fly on the wall.
Dude, absolutely.
Remember that one part where they're just eating, sitting at a table, and they've got like a camera hidden in a plant sitting on the
Dude,
table?
yeah.
You just hear their candid conversations talking about shit.
Dude, that was when George had just left, right?
Yeah.
God,
Peaced
dude.
out.
Oh, dude, I watched that thing twice when it came out. It's like, what, 12 hours long? 16? I don't even know. But it is so fucking long.
Favorite Beatles album? Go. It's tough.
Dude, it's
I
so
know.
hard because, like, all of them. I don't think the Beatles have a bad song. I've never heard a Beatles song. I'm like, God, dude, cut that off. I'm burned. If I had one, it might be like Twist and Shout. But it's not. I love it. It's like Rock and Roll Night with Kiss. I'm burnt. You won't hear me listen to that on my own time. Great tune, though. Dude, I'm going to say Hard Day's Night.
That's a good one.
Love that thing. Just if I had to take one with me, I'm taking that one. Actually, I would take the Beatles one, that greatest hits from 2000. That was what got me into the Beatles, dude. I was 3 years old in 2000, and I saw this commercial. Still have it on the VHS, man. Seriously, it is
right,
dude. It is on the first Kiss tape I ever had that my uncle gave me to show me it, dude. It's on there, that commercial, and I'm just losing my mind with the songs. I could sing you the whole commercial.
In 1964, 4 men from Liverpool came to America and changed the world forever. The Beatles won the ultimate collection from the greatest band in history.
It's like a whole 2-minute ad, and I just was like, what the fuck? What kind of music is this?
At 3 years old, and
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, I didn't, yeah, not like that. I was just like, whoa.
Well, much like the Beach Boys, the Beatles went through so many changes. They started out a little more teeny bopper pop rock.
Yeah.
And by the end, they had really matured into, a psychedelic rock band.
Dude, like a whole lifetime
And-
that was just like 6 years or something.
I mean, for me, Abbey Road is like the pinnacle of production
Dude, yeah.
and content, and just the way that album ends with the song called The End.
Yeah. Brilliant.
The lyrics, in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. I mean,
Dude, so good. And then
Brilliant.
Let It Be. People like kind of write that one off. How great is that?
Two
It's a
of
good
us.
song.
Two of us riding.
Oh, that's a fucking killer
Oh
song.
my
Yeah.
God.
Oh man.
That album's a
Unbelievable.
little raw, you know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
it is. It's
It
so
has a
crisp.
different vibe than the others.
On our way back home. Run away.
The long and winding road.
Oh my goodness. Long and winding.
That's just like Paul sitting at a piano. You got strings in the background.
Yeah. Dude, it's beautiful. Gorgeous. Stunning.
I like how you're describing the Beatles a few episodes back, and you're like, chicks are going apeshit for these like dudes with bowl cuts.
Dude, yes. How
It's all the
awesome.
show.
Dude, what was crazy? I recorded the Ringo show. You can go see that on my main page, YouTube as well. Dude, the chicks shrieking so loud that my camera sound cuts off. Like, you're not even going to believe this. Ladies my age ladies my grandmother's age and ladies my great grandmother's age were there losing their minds, dude, like shrieking when Ringo came out.
And he still got the bowl cut?
No.
Okay,
Dude, he has like the Jonas Brother swoop going down, dude. What you do is swing it out of the way. It looked awesome.
That's pretty badass.
It was so
That's pretty
freaking sick,
badass.
dude.
It's like his dick is dragging the stage behind him.
Dude, right?
His hair is swishing to the fucking beat.
Dude, chicks were like, Ringo, I love you. He's like, I love you too, darling. I'm like, oh my God.
You heard about the beef with him and Roger Daltrey because Ringo's son got sacked as the drummer for
Dude,
the
yeah, a little bit. What is up with that? Why did he get chunked? I read that, but I never got an answer.
Something to do with Roger didn't like the way that Zach Starkey played. And I think Pete Townsend was like a little more appreciative of Zach, but apparently Daltrey and Zach didn't get along. And he got fired like a month ago, then rehired, and then fired again. And then Ringo came out with a headline a week or two ago. He's like, I've never cared for the way that little man runs the Who. Talking about Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ringo's all peace and love, so for him to have something negative to say shows that he didn't care for him.
Dude, do y'all remember when, it was been years ago now, but when Ringo put out that video about peace and love, I will not be signing any more fan mail. If you have sent something by the 5th of October, it's going to be tossed. I've got too much to do. I'll put it in. Man, it is
That's
fucking...
a good impression.
No, thank you. Dude, it is so good. I love it so much.
Peace and love, peace and love. I want to tell you, please, after the 20th of October, do not send fan mail to any address that you have. Nothing will be signed after the 20th of October. If that has a date on the envelope, it's going to be tossed. I'm warning you with peace and love, but I have too much to do.
Because he's like, in the name of peace and love.
Dude, yeah.
Like, he's
Over and
interjecting
over.
that even in that moment.
Yeah, he ends it with like 3 of them. Peace and love, peace and love.
Where y'all at with Zeppelin?
Dude, Zeppelin's one of the greatest things to ever walk this earth.
There you go.
I
Did you
love
see the new
Led
documentary that came out?
Dude, no, but me and my
You
dad
need
wanted
to.
to go to the fucking theater to see it. Dude, I got to see Plant live. That was just...
Jealous of that.
dude, he did the Battle of Evermore, and it was perfect. I lost my mind back there. And he was with Alison Krauss, because that's like his thing. They do like this crazy thing, but that one was flawless. Then they kind of countrify all the others.
I saw them and Bob Dylan.
That is killer.
About a year or so ago. And I know what you mean with like the countrified version of the Zeppelin songs. That it
worked on a
didn't
couple.
hit that great for me.
No, it was just cool to see him there.
Right.
And when he would talk, that was so cool. Like, I went to Wilmington to go see him, and it was a beautiful scene, man. You could see, like, the lake. Might have been a pond, I don't know.
Did Bob Dylan do Shelter from the Storm?
I don't think he did.
Oh, that's
It was really hard to make out what he was playing because he's just...
One of those other guys that should probably hang it up at this point. Yeah.
Man, I'm actually seeing him this summer, too, with Willie.
Nice.
Gotta
I
go
love
see
some
him.
Maybe he'll
Dylan,
project more clearly.
Dude, who knows? Not a huge Dylan guy,
And the
but
funny
he's a
part
legend.
is he was like sitting at his piano on the stage, like closer to the back, and there was no light on him because you were looking at like, where is he? And then you realize about 10 minutes into his performance, he's just sitting in the back.
Oh, man.
Like drawing no attention to himself at all.
Yeah.
That kind of summed up the vibe of the show.
Probably by purpose.
Yeah. It was cool to see him, but like, you didn't get that much from it.
Yeah. You can say you've seen it, though.
Right. Check it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He is a legend.
sick.
Yep.
Totally. That's
He's
what
a
I
legend.
say.
Yeah, 1000%.
A legend.
So, we're kind of deep into the episode at this point. I thought we might let Fred play the game.
Dude,
do it.
please. I feel like we're deep in the woods.
Fred, how do you feel about playing the game?
Let's rock that shit.
Let's rock that shit. All right, folks, it's time for Don't Turn Into Dust. By now, you know how it works. Old Fred is running from Mr. Skin in the woods. If Mr. Skin catches him, not only will Mr. Skin rape him in the butthole,
Let's get hurt.
Fred will turn into dust. It's a this or that game. You make one wrong move, you die. If you die, you have one chance. You can tell an embarrassing story and get an extra life. Are you ready, Fred?
Let's do it.
You come to a fork in the path. You go left or right.
Right.
You move on. You're thirsty. You find a Dr. Pepper and a twisted tea on the ground. Which one do you drink?
Let's get twisted.
It's cool, refreshing, and takes the edge off. You find a crack rock on the ground. Do you smoke it or throw it behind you?
Smoke that that shit.
You smoke that shit. You smoke
Light
it.
it up.
You feel energized and you pick up speed. You come across a fabricator who's offering a job. Do you take the offer or steal the work truck?
Steal the work truck.
You wreck the work truck. You get out and some dude named Logan is screaming from the trunk. Do you let him out or ignore him?
Ignore the guy.
Please.
You keep walking and hear him scream, man, I'm going home. A lady cop walks up and tells you to stop where you are. Do you tell her to stop being a cunt or you place your hands behind your back?
Stop being a cunt, bitch.
She shakes her head and arrests some guy named Chandler instead. You hear music and follow the sound to find out Breaking Benjamin is playing a concert in the woods. Do you stop and listen or call him gay?
Call him gay.
You call him gay and keep going. Jared Leto hops out from behind a tree and says 30 seconds to Mars is better. You find yourself in Bisco at the vape shop. Do you buy Magic Man or a pre-rolled blunt?
Magic Man.
You get lost in the sauce on Magic Man and get fired from your vape store job, but at least you're still alive.
You're fired.
The Magic Man's got you feeling depressed. Next door, there's a Mexican wedding, and next to that, there's a black bar. Which do you go in, the Mexican wedding or a black bar?
Mexican wedding.
You party with the Vatos and do many shots of tequila. You end up throwing up on your feet. You stumble back into the woods. The trees start turning black and white, and you realize the acid you dropped earlier is kicking in. You try and remember what day is it, May 11th or May 12th?
May 11th.
You remember it's May 11th and the vibes are good. You decide to take some mushrooms too. The shrooms are starting to kick in and you start tripping balls. You hear 4 voices ask, who's got the answers? Do you answer them or ignore them?
Ignore them.
You figure you're too fucked up and decide to take some benzos instead. Do you decide to take a Xanax or a Klonopin?
Call me Lil Xan.
The Xanax makes you forget you were tripping. You lose a week of your life. You wake up and keep walking. You wake up and realize Mr. Skin is right on your tail. You have to shit really bad. You come across a porta-john. Do you poop in the porta-john or keep running from Mr. Skin?
Keep running.
You try and run and pick up speed while clenching your butt cheeks. You can't hold it in any longer and start shitting your pants. You slip on your poop and fall. Mr. Skin rapes you in your chocolate donut. You bleed out and die.
God.
Game over!
Oh, that hurts.
Dude, that was a fucking great round, though. Like,
Oh,
right
man.
out of the gate, like, just brilliant. We have people that have played a few times that get lost before that.
Can't get that far. Would you like to tell an embarrassing story and continue?
Yeah, let's go back in time here.
Okay,
Oh, man.
here we go.
Let's
Did
go
you
back.
kiss a boy?
No.
Okay.
Right.
2015.
What a year.
It was the first game of the Panthers season. The season they went to the Super Bowl. I'd like to think maybe I had a part in this. So I was on a work trip. I was with a guy who I'd never really met before. He was a photographer for the newspaper I was writing for at the time, and we were covering my college game over in Florida. So we were like, you know what, let's go stop by Jacksonville, see the Panthers game. And I really fucked up. I drank way too much before the game.
Hell yeah.
Y'all remember Red's Wicked Ale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so this shit was like concocted by evil scientists. It was like Red's Ale, but like 8% or 12% or some shit. The extreme version of it.
The wickedest.
And I rocked about 3 tall boys of those at the game. And that really bit me in the ass because on the way back from Florida to where we were heading, we stopped and got some McDonald's. And let's just say it did not sit well with my stomach. And we're riding down the road, and for some reason, I just have this memory. All this guy played was Rob Zombie and Lil Jon. Alternating
Dude, what
between
a
the
mix.
two of those in the car. So, I mean, it's a pretty hardcore atmosphere going on. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat. This guy's name is Walter. This guy was a complete dork. That's neither here nor there. We're riding down the road, and suddenly I feel really nauseous. I say, man, hey, man, can you pull over? I think I'm going to be sick. And like clockwork, he steps on the brakes, and my seatbelt cuts into my stomach, and I projectile vomit all over the front of his dash in his car. I'll never forget. It went into like the speaker cover on his car, the little holes that it got through there somehow. And it smelled terrible. Smelled like a rancid apple orchard.
Ooh.
And he was like in disbelief because I had just ruined his car. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Let's stop at the gas station. And we stop at a gas station. I get cleaned up, and we get back in the car. We get down the road about 5 minutes later, and the stomach pangs hit me again.
Oh.
I say, hey man, it's about to happen again. It's about to happen again. He slams on the brakes again. Seatbelt cuts into my stomach, and I had to retch all over the place. All over again. And this time it had gotten over myself. It was all over my legs and shit. And by this point, this guy was so angry at me. He was just white knuckling the steering wheel, not even looking at me, not even talking to me. I'm so sorry.
Dad, I am the one.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. John, like, I was just like, God, I want to be home so bad. I was just dreaming of laying in my bed. And we get down the road again, and you could probably see where this is going. The third time was the worst. I think I emptied myself of every nutrient I had in my stomach, and puked all over his car again. And by this point, he rolls down his window. He's dry heaving. So I'm like throwing up. He's dry heaving. It's like the worst scene I'd ever been in my life. Like, I felt like a piece of shit. This guy wanted to kill me. I had ruined his car. And eventually made it back home. I was like, sorry, man. Sorry about all that. And like, he just kind of like shook his head. He's like, a little bit, and he's like, see you later.
That is brutal.
That was bad.
That's funny. Like, I thought the story was going to end with you puking the first time, but you're like,
right?
It happened again. And then again.
The part that got me is that he never really realized that slamming on brakes made the situation worse. So instead of like coasting to a nice spot on the side of the interstate, every time I told him I was about to throw up, instead he stepped on the brakes, which caused me to throw up every time.
Dude,
so even by the third time, he never learned his lesson.
It was Walter's fault.
So eventually I gave him
absolutely.
some money to get his car cleaned, but I probably was never the same after that.
So basically, fuck Walter.
Yeah.
Do you still hang out with Walter?
Oh no, that was the last time I'd ever hung out with a guy. I mean, he was like 45 years old, so I mean, his name's Walter.
Up yours, Walt.
You wake up and realize Mr. Skin is right on your tail. You have to shit really bad. You come across a porta-john. Do you poop in the porta-john or keep running from Mr. Skin?
Give me that porta-john this time.
You get inside just as you're starting to shit your drawers and quickly rip ass. It's 98 degrees in there and you thought it was cool outside. You almost pass out but managed to pinch it off just in time. You throw your boxers in the commode and head back out. After taking that massive shit, you find yourself hungry. On the ground in front of you is a dry brine New York strip topped with cowboy butter that's slightly overcooked, but what you gonna do? Beside it is a humble baked potato. Which one do you eat?
Baked potato.
It's roasted to perfection and coated with delicious seasonings and chilies. You can't identify all the chilies, but your hunger is satiated.
Nice.
I think this is the furthest we've gone.
Ooh, yeah.
You keep
Uncharted territory.
You keep walking and you... Oh, shit. Fuck. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh my god.
You keep walking and you come across Mr. Oh, it's funny you say that. You keep walking and you come across Mr. Shroom.
Yeah.
He's cornered by a raccoon known as Fat Boy. Do you help Mr. Shroom or let Fat Boy have his way with him?
Let Fat Boy have his way with it.
I have never heard any of this stuff so far.
You flip Mr. Shroom the bird and start to head the other direction. You look away as Fat Boy pounces on Mr. Shroom. As you are running from the scene of the crime, you hear Mr. Shroom stop screaming. As you're running, a hotel security guard tells you to stop where you are. He holds up a bowl you dropped and tells you to come with him.
Whoa!
Do you go with the security guard or take off?
Go with them.
He sits you down and has a long conversation with you about your life. He tells you could lose your academic scholarship if you don't change your ways. You thank him and keep going. Holy shit. You come across this girl. You strike up a conversation and decide to have sex. Halfway through, you decide to spice things up a bit. Do you eat it from the back or shove a thumb in her butthole?
Let's put a thumb in that thing.
You put a thumb in her butthole. When you go to take it out, you realize it's stuck. You look down to realize you haven't been having sex with a woman at all. You're standing at the intersection of Food Lion at Low Keys. You look up just in time to see a Camaro charging towards you. This might be the worst week of your life. You die. Game over.
Man, that was so good, dude. I've never heard any of those last three. That was awesome.
It's crazy hearing the new ones. Like,
I know,
I'm
man.
used to the old ones, so hearing the new ones is it's just 50-50 chance.
Straight up, I got my Camaro in there. That's awesome.
I'm so glad you decided to let Fat Boy have his way. With
I know.
Mr.
I was like,
Shroom.
you know what? That sounds like the right move. here.
Fuck that son of a bitch.
Just left you to rot with that thing.
Fuck, man.
I'm so happy you made it to some uncharted territory.
Dude, absolutely. It was getting weird, dude.
It's
'cause
getting a little stale.
we get people on here that just like they have made it to a certain spot and then come back and get lost on the same one.
I love all the people that are on here and play
Absolutely.
the game, but all of them, and including you and I, fucking idiots. Like, come on, boys, you can do better than you do.
Dude, yeah.
That was good.
Oh shit! Thank you for playing, Fred. That was a fucking good one.
Oh,
Dude,
that was great.
That was the best one yet.
That was the best one yet.
That was awesome.
Did you get to hear your Camaro in there?
Dude, absolutely.
That kills you.
I love that.
I love how it's
That's
just
awesome.
all comprised of lore from the pod. Just
Dude, absolutely.
Dust Nation stories littered throughout
Dust
that thing.
Nation.
That's so good.
You know what? Since I think we have our one and only super fan, I feel like that's fair to say about Fred, right?
Come on.
Fair is that Fred to
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
Let's have a sideways discussion here. I don't think Dust Nation is the answer. Okay? I don't think
I like it.
I don't think holy shit, how much do you and I text? All right.
Quite a bit.
I don't think Dust Nation is the answer.
I
So-
know them all if you just want me to say what we had.
So here's some of the ones, and I'm not going to read the gay ones.
No, please.
You want the gay ones?
I mean,
The Dustlings?
who
Come
said
on,
that?
guys.
Dude, who said that, though?
Chad GPT said that.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude, we never said that. Like, that wasn't... I'm talking about our ideas.
Oh, no.
Fuck
This
the
is-
AI stuff. I don't know what they want.
Hold on a second. There are some... The Dust Mites.
There is, but like...
It's not
there's-
bad. Better
But
than
doesn't
Dustlings.
doesn't it lose a little charm, though, if, like, we didn't create it ourselves?
There is the Fallout. That's pretty cool.
What does that got to do with dust?
I was about to say.
There's the Residuals.
That sucks.
It has to have dust in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta.
So there's the Dust Collective.
No.
Dust Squad.
No.
Uh,
I was the
Dust-
bomb squad in my last podcast, WBOM. The bomb.
Hell yeah!
Dude,
This
you know
is
it. Dude, you know it.
Dude, I love that one. The Dust Fam, which is gay as shit. The Ash Assembly. The Dusted Minds.
The Ash Assembly. See, I don't hate that because it's pretty freaking retarded.
Sounds more like a emo band name.
Dude, it does.
2005.
I see you when you're sleeping.
All right, the Dust Heads. And I kind of like Dust Heads.
Dust
Certified
Heads is
Dust
killer.
Heads, like, that's
See,
a good
certified Dust Heads and
I mean,
Dust
I did
Nation.
take that from Deadheads. Little derivative.
one. That's
but still.
okay. We're going to cut everything you just said.
Dude, see, it doesn't matter. Like, if we
Nah.
take stuff from somewhere, because the Kiss Nation, and you came up with Dust Nation. You didn't even get it from Kiss Nation.
No, I didn't. I ripped that
So-
off from somebody else.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. Like, everybody's got it. I think that hits. I think Certified Dust Head makes more sense as an individual to where the nation is a fucking whole.
Yeah. That's
What
okay.
do you
I
think
feel
about
that.
the Dusties, Dusters?
My brother
like the
wanted
Dusties. I don't
Dusties.
like Dusters.
I didn't like that at all.
I like
He
it when
loved
he's like
it.
dusty motherfuckers better.
Dude, yeah, I love when he added his little flavor. He was like, because then you could be like Dusty Dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool,
That's
but
all right.
not Dusties.
Dust Trust.
He said, why you say it like that?
All right, let's see here. I'm trying not to read just the fucking stupid one. Stupid ones. The Dusted, Dust Fiends, Track Marks. The Dust Devils.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather be called AIDS than that.
The Offbeat Dusters.
No
What?
way. That is
Offbeat?
just, yeah, that's just gross.
That's about all the ones I'm willing to read. But you know what?
That's terrible.
All right, and I'm closing that out. That's the end of Chat GPT.
Dust.
Like the hunt is still on for what we're gonna call you group of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna consider you guys Dust Nation and Dust
Until.
Heads. I like that.
I think the right name is still waiting out there for us.
Dude, it's
one day
we'll hear
we'll
it.
latch on
I agree.
to it.
Oh, we'll hear it.
It'll
and
come
know
in
it.
time.
Absolutely. Dude, like the Kiss Army, that's huge, and they didn't make that. The people did. So once we have like a fucking massive crew,
There's something funny about that to me though. Just like the Dust Army, like they got AK-47s lined up. They got the white face on.
right? Dude, yeah, how
Locked
great.
and loaded.
Dude.
Kiss Army.
Fred, did you see the graphic I shared with this week's like episode release?
That was
on
hardcore.
Snapchat? You like that?
Yeah. How'd you
like
make that?
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Yeah, sure.
See, that's where I'm
You
scared,
don't like it?
dude. I like human stuff.
I like
when
human
stuff
stuff too,
happens,
but-
like, dude, it was badass. That one with the chick with the jugs. You don't
Yeah.
understand how bad I want that shirt.
You know, it's a
What-
big
what's
debate
wrong
right
with it?
now
It
with
just,
AI
it
art.
just feels wrong to me. Maybe I'm just old school. That might just be it. And maybe I need to move on. I don't care. We can go on. It's taking me a little time. Because I have so many family members that are brilliant artists, and if we told them what we wanted, but here's where I think it would be awesome to get the ideas from that, and then let a
Use it
human
as a
do
reference. Doing it.
Yeah.
I'm totally on board, and here's my thing too with the ChatGPT shit, and especially the image creator, because that shit can pump out some gnarly shit. Like I would never fucking okay it, like at least on my end, because of course, even if I say yay, like it's got to go through the other half of "Are you dust?" Right? You know what I mean? Isn't like you have to give the final okay. But like I will never pass it along to you unless I think that like, okay, this is pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, dude, there was some stuff in there that was rad.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, but it's not a human.
It's not a human.
Maybe I'm just old.
No, I honestly, I respect that. I would rather a human do this too.
Yeah.
It's just so easy. Like in like 45 seconds, I can be like,
that's so true.
Make me the most decrepit fucking looking bullshit you can fucking
Dude,
make.
Well, that's the thing right now. There's some artists that have released AI album covers, and the fan base gets all upset
Dream
about it.
Theater's won. Their last album covers
that was
won.
a bad album
Dude,
cover.
people are losing their minds. But I didn't like it either. Dude, like her feet, there's like 6 toes.
That's how you can always tell with AI art. You look
Yeah.
at the hands and feet. That
Like
for some
how-
reason it doesn't get that right.
Yeah, like I don't hate it, but it's just like I've made everything on any page I've ever done. Like I've made myself with like Photoshop, and there's just some sort of magic to that I love. But what the fuck? If it's badass, like that hat you had, dude, I
hat
want
looked
that.
good,
but
didn't it?
it's almost too cool that it can't even be made by a human.
I've
So
been
that
trying.
sucks.
Yeah, I came up with this really. I'll show it to you after this. This like really wicked hat design.
Oh my
right?
God.
Well, me and old ChatGPT did, and I hit up like 5 or 6 embroideries, and like they're all like, we can't make this. It was just too hardcore. Now, okay, same on the discussion of are you dust? This is human made. I don't know, taking a piss at work the other day and thinking about are you dust? And again, this is all human. I thought a killer tagline for the show could be like, because like questions so rarely have like straight answers. Something like that. Because I just thought it encompasses almost everything about the show. Because it's all up for debate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all like we're just talking, asking what do you think, and like none of it is ever going to be straightforward, right?
Yeah.
And like it encompasses the I'm neither here nor there aspect of it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like questions so rarely have straight answers.
Dude, I like it.
Like, are you dust?
Yes.
Questions so rarely have straight answers. I don't know.
Dude, I'm in.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You
that's
like
cool.
it?
Yeah.
It's a
To
vibe.
dust we return.
That's a dust we will return.
So good.
Ecclesiastes. Best Bible.
Dude.
book.
Fuck, man. Are you dust? Established.
Do you want to hear something fucking funny that Remy makes fun of me all the time for?
Yeah.
So you know like the EST thing?
Mhm.
And this has been within the last, I'd say, year. So there's always the EST. And I thought that stood for estimated. Like, estimated like 1994.
Yeah.
You know, and I just thought it was kind of like, oh, whatever, like almost like a hipster thing to be like, we think this started, you know, whenever.
Yeah.
And like now brands do it nowadays because it's like, it like goes with the flow. But no, she's like, that means like established, you stupid ass motherfucker.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Are you dust established 2018, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
That's when the page was made, and then
Yeah.
everything's been dusty since. How
Yeah.
ridiculous.
The seeds of dust have been planted for a while. Then.
Dude, they have, like, And the podcast is all, it was just meant to be. The way it is right now is just the way that it was supposed to be. I have been talking about this podcast since I pieced out on the last podcast I did. That one went from 2012 to 2016.
We're going to hear this then.
Dude, there's like nowhere for it. I got a couple CDs of it, but the dude I did it with, my cousin, man, he had it all on this hard drive. It got wiped, and that kills me. Dude, we interviewed like Bruce Kulick from Kiss and Josh Rand from Stone Sour, dude from Nonpoint, all these guys, and we had like Vinnie Paul and Sebastian Bach do promos for us. It was so good. I got all that stuff.
Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to WBOM. They're the best.
Hey, this is Josh Rand from Stone Sour, and you're listening to WBOM, The Bomb.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Rashid from Nonpoint, and you're rocking with WBOM, The Bomb.
Hey, this is Vinnie Paul from Hell Yeah, and you're kicking ass right here on WBOM, The fucking Bomb. Come on.
Hey, this is Sebastian Bach, and you have great taste because you are turned into WBOM, The Bomb, dude. Turn it up.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I knew I wanted to do a podcast, and I thought like my brother would be the dude, and he's just like, dude, if I'm not in a good mood, I'm not going to want to do it. And then if I don't want to sit and do that every week. And he was just not the guy that was going to be serious enough about it. And man, nobody was serious enough about it. I started it up at, I'll just go ahead and say it. I started it up at Gannon's house. Sorry, dude. But it's true.
Yeah, we got to have you on.
Absolutely. But we set everything up at his house, like a killer setup. And then all of a sudden, like some stuff happened and just... it didn't work out, and I had to get everything out of there. Then I go to this other guy, Tall Skill. I've brought him up in the past. This guy set it up in his parents' building, and it's going to be rad. All of a sudden, dude, we got to get this out of here. My dad wants to. Fuck! So, dude, it was just like that, like a year after year like that. And I was like, man, this reeks. And then, man, the Super Bowl just made it all happen. And we talked about it for like 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, and then I wanted it to be so professional that it was just beyond belief. And Shrooms like, why don't we just fucking just do it like this and then just send it? I was like, you can do that. I didn't even know.
Don't ever think it. Let's just make it happen.
Dude, right. And I wanted it to just be so professional. I still think it's got elements of ish. It sounds good to me. It worked.
I'd say this is the beginning of a long future.
Dill, yeah, I think so too.
Thanks, man.
And dude, old Shroomathy is just the perfect little co-host. It's unbelievable.
Oh, you making me believe.
Dr. Reds over here.
Dude, it's so good. Like, dude, I get burnt out of people quickly. You can't get burnt out of Shroom. It's impossible.
Oh, give it enough time, Ron.
We'll see. If you do, I'll say it. It'll just happen. I feel like you'll get tired of me eventually.
Oh, that would be a great episode when you're like, fuck you, Shroom.
You'd be like, dude, you're still here. That's so rude. Can't imagine those days, but we'll see. Like year 10, fuck, dude. We'll have heard every story each other's ever had.
Oh yeah,
we've met every family member at this point of each other's family. It's crazy what that'll be.
Dude,
who knows?
Me getting up with Ron to start the podcast, that was like 2 years in the making. I've said this before, like this is all Ron's idea, and like he brought it up, and like we talked about it, like because we have like a side ritual. We go to a mutual friend's house for the Super Bowl.
A blast, folks. Which you don't even know.
Yeah, that's like our Christmas almost.
Dude, it is. Like, it's almost better than Christmas these days. Christmas ain't magical like it was when we were kids.
Fuck no. Like, I tell Remy all the time, I'm like, the Super Bowl is my favorite holiday of the year.
Dude, it's. I look forward to it.
How long y'all been going to this place for that?
I think they've been doing it for a long time. I joined up about 3 or 4 years ago.
Probably, how old am I? I mean, probably like over 10 years now. Like it started out me, Twerk, like, and his dad, basically.
That's rad.
Like it was just us three, and it's just grown over the years. And like,
should I play some clips right here of like past years?
Plug it in.
Flashback.
Are we stoked?
Well, stoked is the understatement word of the year.
Excellent.
The water's colder, man. Why?
I'd rather have a gorilla eat my ass.
Then do this. Somebody's shaking them up or something.
What the? You bastard.
It wasn't me.
You bastard, you.
Wasn't me.
You old cum stain. I honestly feel better after shotting that.
I'm just turning into a TV show.
It might.
Because I'd like to say, welcome to the talk show.
Fuck yeah. I'd watch.
Who what?
Exactly.
This is my co-host.
Big D.
Say something funny. There you go. That's what you're going to get.
That'd be beautiful.
Fuck Taylor, fuck Travis, fuck Mahomes, fuck them all.
Yeah.
I'd change britches because y'all motherfuckers are mean.
Damn.
Y'all are mean.
Y'all changed?
Hell yeah.
I don't see your balls sack no more, dude. Now you're just a pussy.
Fuck you.
Those are kind of tight, dude.
What do you want to beat my fucking dick?
Are mushrooms really an alien species sent about 10,000 years ago to heal mankind, but we were too dumb to listen? Why do you sweep with a broom, but you mop with a mop?
What the heck just happened?
No.
That's why it's philosophical, is because it's just debate
I think
on if it's proof or not.
I think the two aren't as far apart as most people think.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what it seems like. Just kind of interesting.
When you shotgun that beer.
I'm about
Yeah, I just ruined it. Sorry.
Come on. No, please. That was awesome. If I could have comprehended some of that, I would have loved it.
Do it again.
One more time.
End of flashback.
Yeah, it's just grown from that, and like, fucking a couple years ago, Aaron was talking about the podcast, and I'm like, you should do it, and I'm like pitching him what I think he should do, and like, you know, we didn't know each other like super well, right? Like we hung out, but like it was like on these occasions, or like when we go to the beach together or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's just one of those, dude, how you doing?
Yeah,
Good, how you doing?
Exactly.
And then we would talk about, you would say, have you heard this band? And I'd say, I haven't. And you'd say, look up this song. And then I would listen to that for the next few days. Like, I got a Shroom original. I'm like, rad. It was just cool. He was
Music
just
is such a universal language,
Dude,
you know, to bring people together.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
What was so cool, I always look forward to seeing him, dude. Like, and I would always ask old Twerk or Chub Lee, dude, is Big Shroom coming tonight? Nah, he'll be doing this. And, oh, dude, and then, like, my brother would go to card games over there, and you would show up.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, fuck, I missed him. Like, you were the guy. I was always like, man, I missed that dude there. That's a shame.
Dude, I remember, like, Aaron and I were on this mutual beach trip, and
I was in bad shape. I don't even.
Yeah,
I barely have.
Magic Man?
Dude,
he was cracked down on the sauce.
You were feeling magical, huh?
Dude, I was pushing like 300 pounds. Like, I was sauced out and just super fatified.
And we're like out on the back porch playing cornhole, and for some reason I got the fucking sticks on the speaker, and I start playing. I don't fucking know.
You played One by Metallica.
There you go.
I have videos of this.
Okay, I play like, and like all of a sudden Aaron like starts doing like, you know, the guitar hand motions, like, oh, that's tasty, and I was like, hey Aaron, I'm gonna talk to him about music,
Dude, Dell, yeah.
And like, yeah, the rest is history.
Remember when we went to the fish camp later that night?
No.
Dude, we went somewhere. You walked in. I got a video real quick of you walking in. You were like, what time are we going to eat? And they're like, 6 o'clock. And you're like, nice. Then that's when you walk up to the camera and go, yo.
Yeah.
Flashback.
What time are we going to eat? Nice.
Come on.
Yo.
Yeah. Hey, who's driving? We've all been tanking.
I'll drive.
No, I'll drive.
You're destroyed.
I'm really.
Do you want to be?
Yeah, you go first. That burns.
It does. It's killing my throat. Lee?
What?
Get a pull.
Hand me this black card.
End of flashback.
Y'all got to be on that Instagram account. It's a private account. That's where all the videos are hidden.
That's my Waffle House.
Absolutely.
A couple flapjacks.
Folks, if you want that, that is R_U_dust1259 on the Instagram. I will check you out, man. I don't let anybody in there. I have to check your page first. And if you're cool, you're in.
And folks, since we're rounding up the end of the episode before the music choices, I'll go ahead and I'll you know what, I'll take the bullet this week instead of Aaron. You know, you watch our video, like, that's one PP touch. You like the video, I'm gonna jack you off. If you fucking drop a comment, you leave a review, I will suck your dick. Okay, we are on Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube,
iHeartRadio.
That fucking son of a bitch.
Dude, I can't believe we're sucking cock for views.
It's gotten to that point.
Dude, I'm
at a low
stunned.
point.
I appreciate you taking it this week,
Yeah,
man.
you've taken it for the last like 4 weeks.
Dude, it's unreal.
Aaron has sucked so much dick lately. I'm like, go ahead and let me have a turn.
He's handing you the reins for this.
Yeah, I don't like it. I never agreed with it. It's like crazy.
You need a breather.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That's what makes it even more fun for people is they know that you don't like it.
Dude, right?
I'll get in there though. I'll fucking do it one time.
Dude, fuck. My necklace just fell off. I have been wearing this thing since 2014 and it's never broken. I got to get back to that later, folks.
That's
It's
a bad
not.
omen. But people, if you wanna fucking be a guest like Fred back here, you send us an email to rudust@gmail.com.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Dude,
Yeah, and like, look, even if you don't want to be a guest, you can send a story that we can read anonymously.
You can call in.
You can call in. You can just say, what's up? Like,
Yeah.
our dicks get so hard for that shit. You have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like, comments on YouTube videos, emails. We fucking love that shit. I mean, I jack off to it for days.
Dude, yeah, same here. We don't even watch porn anymore.
No, I just read y'all's emails.
Yeah, most of the good stuff is freaking blocked in North Carolina anyway. What do y'all think about that?
That's what VPNs are for.
Come on.
There you go.
Dude. Is that how you get that good, like, Chinese stuff?
Yeah, you set your location to Thailand.
That's just how you get the stuff you had 2 years ago.
Oh, kill it.
You get your favorites back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right, boys. Music choices for the week. We're going to let the guest go first.
Beautiful.
You know what? I'm going to take us back to 1981. Electric Light Orchestra.
Beautiful.
The song Twilight from the album Time.
Nice.
One of my favorite albums from them. You got Jeff Lynne, just a fucking mastermind behind
Absolutely.
running the show, singing, production-wise. One of their best songs, there's a piano solo halfway through that knocks me out every time.
Dude, that's rad.
Love that shit.
That is so good. Should I go?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
I was going to try and pull something deep back like Fred did.
Man, I wish I would have thought about this a little harder, but right now, I'm going to give you my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers song of all. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Okay. There's like 2 I want to say, but I'm going to give you my favorite one of all time. It's a freaking rare, deep cut off the Stadium Arcadium record. This one's called She Looks to Me. Dude, this is like the best song they ever wrote, in my opinion. And I can't believe it wasn't a single.
I bet it's got a nasty flea bass riff on it, doesn't it?
Dude, it's got to be in there somewhere, but that's not the part that's
Really?
like ripping me apart. It's like John's guitar and just the whole vibe of it. Oh, I need to play it for you right now.
You have to play it after this. After we
Absolutely,
get off this.
dude, you're going to love it.
And I'll round it up with a fucking cult classic. Everybody loves it. Nobody can deny this song. Aaron. Kids by MGMT.
Hell
It's
yeah.
Fucking
love that band.
Perfect.
Right on. I don't know nothing about old MG.
You don't know. You know kids. You know kids. You know kids.
All the other kids.
No,
that's
no,
Foster
yeah.
the Peeps.
Yeah.
He goes dun 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 dun.
Superman.
Little synth riff.
Fuck. You were a child crawling on your knees from it.
I've never
You know the
heard
song
dude.
Electric Feel?
Yeah.
What is the bass riff on that?
I don't know the bass riff, but rock me like an electric eel.
Yeah, I stayed out of that section.
And there's that other one that was real popular in like
Time to
2000 songs.
Pretend.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
it's like do some heroin and fuck with the stars.
Yeah.
Bruh,
yeah.
never in my life.
Oh,
I've never heard that
They've got
ever.
some great albums.
I'm gonna play-
Very influenced by the Beach Boys too, I'll say.
Right on. I got to give them a pull. I need some new stuff. I appreciate it.
You're gonna
I
love
have
that
checked
shit.
out every song that's ever been requested on this show. I always go back and check them out.
Isn't there a playlist?
There is.
playlist.
There
I need
is.
to add that.
And
Billy,
folks,
I gotta
check
send
the
that to
fucking
you.
playlist out. Aaron updates that shit weekly with our music choices.
Dilly,
Like,
it
go
is
out and vibe out
awesome.
for a few hours.
Dude, it is such the freaking awesome list. Like, it goes everywhere. There's only one song, folks, that was not able to be on the list because it's not anywhere except YouTube. That was Remy's Lil Wayne.
I Feel Like Dying.
Deep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
deep.
a YouTube classic, right?
It is brilliant. I hate it's not out there.
I gotta hit him with the bonus track just because honor of Fred.
Hit him.
I already mentioned it earlier this episode, but the Star Spangled Banner by Spangle.
Get Spangled.
Like
eat and ate the shrooms, listen to Spangle, and see what happens.
Ate the shrooms. Just fucking vibe out by yourself.
Have a mental fireworks show.
And fucking go on a roller coaster. It's gonna take you. Sorry, I had to
feel
throw
like
a bonus one in there.
That's cool. That sounds awesome. I got to check that one out too because I ain't never heard it.
That's what you need to listen to on like the drive home later.
I will.
Yeah,
I absolutely will. Dude, Fred, that was killer, dude. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here, guys.
I'm AA Run.
I'm Mr. Shroom.
And this is Fred.
And this is R.U. Dust.